welcome back again everyone. What we're going to do this week is try to fit the speedometer, make a bracket for it. So what I've been doing is been doing a bit more CAD on the cardboard design, and I've made a little template, and that is going to fit onto the back of the speedometer just there, and also it's going to fit the other end onto, there's two holes in the bottom of the yoke here, so it's going to bolt onto there. That's the idea. So we'll have a closer look at the template and we'll mark out a piece of aluminium plate which I've been getting prepared. Now I'm using one of these little just Chinese speedometers, the cheap and cheerful. I'm going to try and modify it a little bit, but that's what I'm going to use. So some people hate these. I've seen some comments on Facebook which could be right, they might not be much good, but I'm going to give it a try. There's nothing to lose, and say for the price of them, they're nice and handy. They've got everything in the clock. They've got the speedometer, indicates the gear you're in, it's the rev counter. It's even got a fuel tank level, which I've ordered a little float switch, so I'm going to try and use that just as an indicator as to when the tank's getting low. But it's got most things you need in there, so I'm going to try using that one. So we'll go on the bench, we'll have a look at the template, and we'll mark out a piece of aluminium which I'm going to use as the bracket. Okay. So this is the template I made. I've tried to round the corners off as best I can. So I've got two holes here which are M6s, so I'm going to drill them about 6.5. We've got a hole which comes right round here. Now that's where the cable that's where the cable exit is on the back of the speedometer, and I'm going to try and radius these ends. So that's why I haven't cut this out yet, because I'm going to drill some holes in the corners of there, about 8mm, give us a radius of 4. And these two here are for the rubber grommets on the back of the speedometer, and they've got to be about 12mm. Just show you, it's these type of fittings here. Just take one off. So there's one of these, and you see it's got a groove right round it, and the idea would be we'd drill a 12mm hole, take the metal spacing out the inside, try and squash it in so it's acting like a grommet, and then pop the spacer back in there. Right, so I've tried to round these off as best I can to make it look fairly decent rather than just a square plate. I've got this plate of aluminium here which I'm going to use. It's about 1/8 of an inch. So that's it there, and that's about the width. That was the only concern I had, the width of these two pieces at the side to support the whole speedometer. But that piece there is about the width of that, and there's two of those, and when I get hold of that I can't bend it with my fingers, so there's going to be two of them, so it's going to be quite substantial. So what I'm going to do is put this onto here. Now let's see, we'll try and line it up on the two of the edges so that it cuts down on the amount of, let's get the best side, cuts down on the amount of cutting which we have to do. So there, so just hold that into place a bit. And then we're going to just use the template to do centre punching, and then I'll drill it. So I'll just try and centre punch all of the holes here. With these little ones, as I said, for the radius on the edges. Right, now if I get a marker pen, we can mark around the outside of that. I've got a few gaps there. Now I know I haven't marked around where this cutout's going to be in the centre here, but what I'll do is when I get the 4 holes drilled, I can just put some lines around the outside so I know where to cut those. Right, so first of all, try to get this drilled then. Right, when we go on the drill machine, I'll drill them all out first with a pilot drill, probably a 3mm hole, and then we can go and drill them. These are 8, 6.5 for these to give us a little clearance, and 12 for these. Right, so I just used a countersink at the end there just to take off the burrs off here. There's still a few in the back, but they should come off. Right, so now what I want to do is we'll mark out this where it's got to be cut. Right, so it's marked out there. I'll try and cut that out on the bandsaw. So I've got one of these little bandsaws. It's a horizontal bandsaw, but you can stand it up, and I've made a little adapter plate. I think you can buy these for when you want to use it as a vertical saw. So I'm going to just try and cut as best I can around this, and then the rest we'll have to do it using the file. Right, so that's it, cut out. It's a bit of a tight fit around this cable gland, but a little bit of filing will get that to fit. So next I'm going to go on the belt sander and just do the outside edges as much as I can, and then we'll get on in the vise and we'll try and file this to get the profile so it's a nice fit. Right, so I've been on the belt sander and I've just smoothed off around the edges. I'm going to just take the sharp corners off with a file, and we'll try filing this, get the profile right. Right, so I've got it cleaned up a little bit, needs a little bit more polishing. Now these rubbers which I talked about, it's got the little space from the middle, so take them out, and then the rubber just fits inside the hole. It's the larger hole, it was about 12mm. We'll pop both of them in. And then we'll put the spacer in that holds it in place. Right, so I'll put the two spacers in. Then we'll put the speedometer on there. Washer on each of them, and a nut. Alright, so that's the bracket on there. And then we'll get bolted on the bike. One other thing that's wrong with this speedometer is the length of these cables. It should have been another 6 inches longer so you could get them into the headlight bowl. So looks like I'm going to have to extend all of those. Right, that's it. It's tucked in nice and tight. So we'll take it and have a look around, see what it's like. Right, so that's it. Well, I think that's looking really good. It's just high enough so you can see over the handlebars here. Not too obtrusive, you know, sticking up too far. Yeah, pretty happy with that. Right, that's it for another day. I'm really pleased the way that's gone. Just wondering what to move on to next. There's a few things. Headlight and brackets. Now I've got a headlight for it, but I'm still not too happy with it. I'd rather get a better one. I did see a sort of a vintage one just over a week ago at a Auto Jumble, and I'm kicking myself now that I didn't buy it. I was in two minds at the time and I didn't get it. Thought I'd go with a Lucas one which I've got, but thinking about it, so I'm going to hang on and see if I can find something which I really like to put in. There's the tank, the engine to clean up, and the frame to finish off the weld and clean up. I think I need fork seals. There's quite a few bits and pieces, but the main things that, well, the headlight can wait because when the bike's back together that could be put on. The engine, I'll wait till I strip the frame down and take that out and clean everything up and paint that before it goes back in. The tank, it's got a hole in that I know about. It's got a small leak, so I'll fix that. There's a few dents I'll try and knock out and clean it up as best I can. And also I've got this little float switch because the speedometer has got an indication of fuel height, I think, in the tank. Now I haven't got a sensor to do that, but thought if I put a switch in, then it's either showing full or empty. So if I do it when it shows empty, then I know I'm on reserve then. So I might do that while I'm messing on with the tank. So that may be next week's episode, okay? Right, well, thanks again everybody for watching, and stay safe, and hope to see you next time.